Shalom, family. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. I just want to announce the upcoming sale that will run from the 3rd to the 7th on Etsy, Shopify, and TikTok Shop. And this time, the discount is going to be automatic. So when you go on and place your order, it should automatically take the 45% off at checkout. So this will begin on the 3rd through the 7th. And I also want to make another request. I would like to get my reviews up. Um, I have sold over 9,300 products, but I have 1,700 reviews. So if you don't mind, when you get your products, please leave a review, you know, or if you have received products in the past, please take the time. You don't have to leave me no long paragraph, but just leave a review. I would appreciate it. So, y'all, we're going to talk about Ghana. And thank you to all of you that have sent me the story by email. Ghana had another flood, but this one was way more severe than the first one. If you remember, they had a flood when, after they came over here visiting the slave burial ground up there in New York. And I think like the next day after arriving back to Ghana, they had a pretty big flood. Well, we know what their foreign minister, what she said. She said Juneteenth is for everybody. It's about Ghana too, and it's global. No, Juneteenth is just about one group of people here in America, our forefathers and foremothers that served chattel slavery. Now, here's the thing: photography existed back then. So we have actual photos of our forefathers, foremothers out in those fields. Y'all getting as bad as white people with the Irish were slaves. It's amazing how Irish are slaves, but all we see are our forefathers and foremothers up in all the pictures. So, all of you folks that think you took a part in Juneteenth, until you can produce the photograph of Ghanaians over here in the fields and Irish, a whole field full of Irish people, a whole field full of global people, then I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. The only photography that I see are our forefathers and for so I don't know. Y'all must have been invisible on the field because nobody's seen you. So anyway, y'all, that was a week ago. Well, maybe a little more than a week ago because Juneteenth was the 19th. And here we are 2 weeks later, and a massive flood hit Ghana. And they said this one was probably the worst they've ever seen. Y'all better stop messing with us. Y'all better stop messing with us, trying to steal our reparations, trying to make us the sixth regent, and now you're trying to hijack Juneteenth. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. We don't need African nations trying to chime in on our holidays, our reparations. We don't need you chiming in. Y'all did not so much as send one letter to this government during chattel slavery and tell them, y'all better not mistreat our people or send them back or give us our people back. Y'all didn't do nothing. Y'all didn't do nothing. Our people suffered so badly during chattel slavery. It was horrible. That's why these white folks want us to stop talking about it. They know what they did to us and they know how horrific it was. But Africa, stop chiming in on what we got going on. Y'all did not help us. You could have wrote the government You could have done many things, but y'all did not. You could have sent a ship over here and said, give us our people back. You didn't do shit. So please stop trying to chime in because you think there's some money in it for you. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's some kind of benefit. You trying to benefit off of things that we went through. No, you are not going to benefit off of nothing. That's why you notice when y'all were trying to go to the UN and then y'all had that meeting over there with other African nations about reparations on Juneteenth. You keep it up, the Most High is going to flood your entire country the next time. But nothing is owed to a living soul in Africa when it comes down to reparations. And see, y'all, they're trying to get ahead of it so that we don't get any of the money and they get all of it. That's what it's about. They don't want us getting one dime. They want the money shuffled over there to them in Africa. No, y'all were the ones that sold people. In fact, when I research, Ghana is still selling people. To this very day, they are selling people into slavery. And on top of that, y'all be selling your children to these white celebrities. Y'all be selling your children to them. So no, you are not entitled to a dime. And no, you don't get to ride our coattails. No. So y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen so you can see how horrific this flood was. I mean, it was bad. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. And, I looked at the aerial shots. How come y'all don't have paved roads in Ghana? Why do all of your villages sit on dirt roads with no signs, no street lights, no lights at night, no nothing? Why do y'all? And then y'all are the same people that when you get an opportunity, you come over here and you have your nerve and audacity to stick your nose up at us and act like you're something better. Your country looks horrific. It looks horrific. It looked bad before the damn flood. Y'all got a lot of nerve. Y'all got a lot of nerve coming over here trying to act like you are better off. At least I got a country to go to. Yeah, but look at the condition of the damn country. How come the country still look like y'all haven't done nothing there in centuries? The countries all look poor. Thank you, y'all. Sorry about the lawnmower. When I first started, nobody was out there, but now they're out there mowing grass. Thank you for the ones.
Oh, this is. Wow. And we know. Also, we are trying. We are trying. Oh. Another one. Oh. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, now. Say the guy didn't put it there yet. What's that? I had it. Oh, ready to boy. Hey, man, that's a good day. And you also want to say no free. We proud. Exactly. We have a total of 7,761 households that were displaced, with 38,802 individuals affected, with 7 persons still missing. As of this morning, I don't know whether many more have been found, but 7 people as of this morning were displaced, and the total death are 12 individuals that we lost. A total amount of 350 million is being targeted to be used to help in dealing with the challenges that we have.
See how heavy rainfall with flood they scatter places across Ghana capital, Accra. The flood don't swallow some houses, destroy shops and some roads. Some people already day trapped inside their house sake of this flood. The flood even caused fire outbreak for one rubber factory for Accra, as firefighters they struggle to control them. Authorities even say the flood don't block some roads, while the presidency warns say make Ghanaians with their safe locations stay indoor. Rescue teams they work to save lives of those who they affected by the flood.
It's truly disheartening to see how severe floods have paralyzed Ghana's capital city, Accra. And to truly understand why these massive floods are occurring, we have to go back to the foundational inefficiencies that plague Accra and Ghana. There are several reasons that account for the flooding in Accra, but the most significant, or some of the most significant, have to be severe outdated drainage systems and corruption itself. And I'm not talking only about government corruption, but institutional and business corruption as well. Ghana isn't effectively able to plan its cities because corrupt officials that are leading some of the state's planning institutions actively accept bribes to be able to issue permits for developers to build. These fraudulent permits that are issued legally allow developers to build in flood zones. And through rapid urbanization of Ghana's capital city, many of these developers are building in particular areas where they're not supposed to be building. So when there's severe rainfall in lagoons that are already choked with silt, dirt, the water level rises and the runoff is distributed evenly across civilian pathways. There's also been massive outroar towards the government because many people believe that the abrupt termination of Zoom Lion's contract, which was intended to dredge the lagoons and waterways in order to prevent such a catastrophe, is also a reason why this flood occurred. But you see, the government and Zoom Lion Ghana Limited had been working together for almost 20 years. But throughout all these years, a plague of alleged series of corruption, financial exploitation of workers, and systemic mismanagement pretty much led to the fallout of the contract itself. The current administration in Ghana was led to believe that it's time to put a stop to Zoom Lion's 20-year monopoly because there were severe income disparities and worker exploitation. For instance, it was alleged that whilst the government was paying Zoom Lion to pay their workers 850 cedis per month, Zoom Lion was keeping roughly 600 cedis and then paying the workers only 250 cedis per month. Other allegations included inflated invoicing and ghost workers. What this means is that the company Zoom Lion Ghana would invoice the government and tell them that, hey, we have about 5,000 workers. However, forensic audits revealed that the company had significantly less workers, but was receiving financial reimbursement from the government for what it had invoiced the government for, effectively pocketing the difference. Currently, the administration and leadership in Ghana has shifted from automatic renewals to competitive tendering to ensure that all works are done efficiently. Finally, irrespective of how severe the climate change has been, the citizens of Ghana themselves have to understand that they have a civic duty to ensure that Ghana is clean always. Many civilians in Ghana routinely dump plastic waste into open gutters, further exasperating the issue of choked drainage systems, which leads to the floods that they themselves continuously cry about. Yes, the government plays a huge role through misappropriation of funds. However, the government is not the only person to blame. Everyone effectively plays a role in this crisis.
Abusia ade no aye hu hwe efie ni mu aflade aye ma hwe ema na efro wo fa nsuo mu ade we nsu ye hu pa o light ahoma da mu a e de asem beba
otwe kwa hey you ready to have it piano to forget your vagina. You forget. If you find out, with that's some no kind. Hey, laugh. Thank you.
Fastro, Anna.
Jipono count. What's over now? Forget you. So what's your nika? You go inside there, raise them.
When we talk, you don't listen. Because I am not your pastor. I am not your prophet. I am nobody. But God said, Ebo, go and tell the people that it will rain. It is going to flood. I said it. And I was arrested. No problem. No problem. But now, see what is happening. See how people's properties are being destroyed. See the lives. I'm very sad. You want your pastor to say it before you believe. You want your prophet to say it before you believe. God can use anybody. I have seen it, and I said it, and I was arrested. But no problem. It's all good. But now I want you to do your things right. Because do your things right. Do your things right. No more talking. The rain will talk for us. Still, the name is Ebo Noah. This coming few days, this coming weeks, a lot is going to happen. And please again, do your things right. God bless you.
Oh, master.
To let the whole church forgive us. It was just a slip. It wasn't intentionally done to malign our church. I believe sincerely that you forgive her and forgive us and accept us as your children. God richly bless all of you.
The guy in the safe go to. The good be enjoy. Yeah, give out princess treatment.
Hey, where are you going to? Hey, don't risk your life, oh! Be there. Come! Oh, where are they?
Na sisi a nso na to no uden na ase
sa drink ni jot akọ drink sisi jot ba ko jot ba ko mi ni drink na akọ
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, y'all, it was pretty bad. They said they had a heavy rain and winds for hours that went on. That's why they got flooded. And the reason why the water looks so filthy is because it's being flood. All that flood water is on top of dirt roads. I mean, Accra, it looked like the whole thing is just dirt roads. So, yeah, they're dealing with one big mess, and it's a lot of people that are displaced because their homes are gone. They got washed out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it is a mess. Yeah, speaking of witchcraft, MC2, the X Project, do you know what I saw online over on TikTok? The Haitians are talking about doing voodoo on Black Americans. First of all, we did not cause you to lose TPS. That was a decision that Donald Trump made. I don't know how we got in the mix. And why are you not directing your anger in the right way? You're coming for us. The courts made that decision. Donald Trump was pushing for that. He got what he wanted. You got to deal with that. That has nothing to do with us. But voodoo on us? Are y'all crazy? Why don't y'all ever want to do voodoo on these white folks? They're the ones harming you. It's unbelievable the way you foreigners think. That's why I can't even respect you. So, anyway, y'all, this flood looks bad. It's going to take a long time for them to bounce back from this one. But again, leave us alone. Stop trying to hijack our stuff. Stop trying to hijack our reparations and our holidays and everything. And y'all need to deal with what's going on over in Africa and worry less about us. Plain and simple. So, anyway, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I do have another live coming up on Carmelo Anthony. His attorneys put in the appeal. So we will see what happens. You know, he got 6 attorneys that are working for him pro bono. And my question is to white people, why do y'all keep cropping up in everybody's comment section for Carmelo Anthony videos? You got what you wanted. He's in jail. You know why I think y'all keep cropping up in people's comment sections and leaving all these little smart alecky comments? Because you know what happened in that court was weak. You know they did not present any evidence. No videos were shown, nothing. And you know that mess was weak. And I think your appearance in everybody's live streams and comment section, you fear he's going to win that appeal. That's what that's about. I don't look at what you say. I watch your actions, and your actions show a lot of insecurity. That's why you're so mad at Carmelo Anthony and his new legal team. Oh, y'all just trying to drag the hell out of it. But you're in fear that he's going to get out of the whole thing because what y'all put on in that courtroom was weak as hell. So, y'all, I will see you at 1:45. Thank you for being here. And again, don't forget to pick up your hair products. And again, make sure you leave a review. I would like to get the reviews up. Shalom, family. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Val Hawkins, 1954. Thank you so much for the super sticker and your support for my channel. Shalom.